now that I understand my units of capacity, I'm ready to start doing some problems. So here on the right, I have my conversion table, which is going to help me solve the problems. This is really important and completely okay to use when you're solving problems. I don't expect you to have all of these memorized, but I do want you to get used to taking a table like this and using it in some of your problems. So here's an example. 8 cups, C stands for cups, equals how many fluid ounces? Okay, so 8 cups is how many fluid ounces? The first thing I need to think about is, well, how many fluid ounces is in 1 cup? I look at my chart and I see that 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So if 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, I'm wondering how many 8 cups is. That means I need to do 8 times 8. I know I need to do that because I have 8, let me put a different color. I have 8 cups here, and so that goes here. My conversion factor is the second number, and I need to multiply those two things together. That's how you solve these problems. So I know that 8 times 8 is 64. That means my answer is 64 fluid ounces. So I multiplied the number of cups by the conversion factor, and that converted my number into fluid ounces. So now I know that there are 64 fluid ounces in 8 cups. Let's try another example. How about, let's do 4 quarts is how many pints? Okay, so QT, that's quarts, PT, that's pints. 4 quarts is how many pints? So another cool thing about my conversion factor, or my conversion table over here on the right, is that it actually uses this cool diagram to help us. So you can see that the big G stands for gallon. Inside the big G, there are 4 Q's. Those are the quarts because there's 4 quarts for every gallon. Inside each Q is 2 P's because there's 2 pints in every quart. Inside each P is 2 C's because there's 2 cups in every pint. So this is actually really going to help me for this problem because I'm trying to figure out how many pints in 4 quarts. Well, the cool thing is, in this picture, there are 4 Q's. Do you see those 4 Q's? Q, 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 right in that picture? So how many P's are there altogether in each of those? Well, there's 2 in each, and there's 4. That's why I know that if I take 4 quarts and I multiply by 2, 2 is my conversion factor because there's 2 pints in every quart. So I'm going to do 4 quarts times 2, and that will obviously give me 8. You can also see in the picture that there are 8 P's altogether in those 4 Q's. That means that there are 8 pints in 4 quarts. You take the number of quarts right here, and then you multiply by the conversion factor. In this case, the conversion factor to get you from quarts to pints is 2. 2 is the conversion factor, so we multiply by 2. Let's try a bit of a harder example. These ones can be a lot trickier because this time I'm going to go with a problem that has a whole number part and a fractional part. Okay, but it's okay, we can do it. 6.5 gallons is how many quarts? So there's several ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you, let's see, let's do it this way. Look at the picture. Look at that big G. That's the gallon. The black letter G, that's really big. That stands for gallon. Okay, so if I had 6 of those, how many quarts is that? Well, I see that there are 4 quarts in each gallon, and we're saying there are 6 gallons. So what I'm basically doing is I'm starting with my whole number part, and I'm multiplying that by 4, then I'm going to take my fractional part and multiply that by 4. I'm going to do it in 2 steps, okay? This is one way to solve. So if you do 6 times 4, you'll get 24. And if you do 1/2 times 4, you'll get 2. 1/2 times 4 is 2, okay? If you don't know that, you could think of, let's see, 1/2 and 1/2 would be a whole, plus another half, plus another half would be another whole. Put the 2 wholes together, you get 2. Another way to think of 1/2 times 4 is to write it like 1/2 times 4 over 1. Multiply the top and you get 4. Multiply the bottom and you get 2. Then you have to do the division. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Okay. Another thing you could do is add 1/2 4 times. So now that I know that I have one part of my problem is 24 and the other part of my problem is 2, all I'm going to do is add those 2 parts together. 24 plus 2 more equals 26. 26. So that means my answer is 26 quarts. 26 quarts. Another way to solve this problem, I'm going to just switch colors here and leave my work up there. Another way to solve this problem is to do 6.5 times 4. Instead of splitting it apart and multiplying each part and then adding them back together, I'm going to show you that you can also just multiply the 6.5 times 4. So 6.5 times 4. Before you multiply, there's a couple things you need to do. The first thing is to change your mixed number to an improper fraction. So we're going to use the cup method, multiply and then add. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Drag the denominator, halves, 13 halves. And I'm going to take the 4 and I'm going to change it to a whole number with a 1 in the denominator. So 13 halves times 4 wholes. Now I'm just going to multiply the top and the bottom. I know that 13 times 4 is 52. And I know that 2 times 1 is 2. 52 halves. The last step is to divide. 52 divided by 2. 2 can go into 5 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract 1, bring down the 2. 2 can go into 12 6 times exactly. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract, I kind of ran out of room, but there's nothing left over. 12 minus 12 is 0. So 26 is my answer here. 26 was my answer here. I know that there are 26 quarts in 6.5 gallons. So I know those can be trickier, but if you can follow those steps, then you can do it. So this is converting units of capacity from one unit to another unit. Hope that helps.